Hi everyone, welcome to this episode of That Woman, and today I am joined by a very special guest, Maggie.
Hey guys.
Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, like she said, my name is Maggie. This is, I guess, pretty new to me, but I've known Kemi for years, so this is quite comfortable. I don't feel like I'm in an interview or anything. But yeah, so we're just here I'm trying to create awareness, and I'm here happily to get involved in what Kemi's doing, and I think what she's doing is amazing. So
thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
So this episode actually took me by surprise because of literally how brave you were. The whole point of That Woman is to shed light on issues that women are facing, and Maggie has been brave enough to share with us today her journey with alopecia. So can you please tell us what is alopecia? Like, give us a definition for it.
Okay, alopecia, in the simplest way I can explain it, is partial or complete hair loss, and that's anywhere that your hair might be growing. So it could be your hair, your eyelashes, your eyebrows, and it's described as an autoimmune disease because obviously your hair is supposed to be growing normally, but your immune system fights against your hair growth, causing it to fall out. So that's the best I can explain it.
Okay, because I feel like when I was growing up, I've heard of alopecia, and it's just like people just don't have hair or hair just falling out. But I didn't really know what it was.
Yeah.
So I didn't actually know it was an autoimmune disease.
Yeah.
I'm a teacher. But anyway, so when did you start noticing that your hair was either thinning or like falling out?
To be honest, because for me it started when I believe I was 5, and being 5 years old, I wouldn't say I remember much of it. I just remember looking through my pictures and wondering, well, why don't I have any hair? And I think that's kind of when my mum would try to explain to me what it was. But when I was more conscious of it, I'd probably say when I was around 8, 9 is when I kind of saw, okay, there's something wrong with my hair. But I can't really say at the moment that I know exactly how I felt, or I noticed like it was, I wake up and it's on my pillow or anything like that. It wasn't visible. I just remember looking in the mirror and thinking, okay, there's something wrong here, and that was it on my end. But
and that actually kind of leads to my next question, which was like, when you were actually aware of what was going on, how did that make you feel?
It made me feel not normal. I didn't feel like I was normal, especially being a girl.
What is normal though?
And that's the thing. Yeah, we don't know what. You're right. We don't know what normal is. But when you're 6, 7, or even 8 years old, you just go by what you see around you.
True.
So I'd see the girls in school, primary school, they all have hair. And because I went to primary school in Kenya is different because you can't have braids as a young kid. Your hair's short anyway.
But like that in Nigeria as well. I don't know if it is now, but I mean, yeah.
Yeah, so it wasn't a thing where you could have braids anyway, but even when you look at other people's scalp, you can tell they don't have the same issues you do. But I think for me, I never felt like I was a normal 8-year-old or normal 7-year-old. It's kind of how I describe it. So.
Okay, so based on that, you said you couldn't wear your hair in braids and whatever in Kenya, like it's always short. So did you just wear your hair just short? So you just walked around with your hair?
Yeah, with just my hair cut really short. Pretty much look like a boy.
But then because the other females look like that as well, did you still feel not normal?
In a way, yeah, because from when I used to look at my head had a lot of patches.
Okay.
So even though my hair was really short, there was big patches around my scalp that had no hair at all. And that's when I could tell there was something not the same as everyone else. But in that sense, yeah, you don't really feel that abnormal when you have short hair. But when I came here when I was 9, in England it's completely different to Kenya. So here you have these little girls that have ponytails and braids and all sorts. So that for me made it even more obvious, like, okay, there's something wrong here. And I think that's when I started jumping into the whole weave without choice, I guess. But
so when you did come here and you started noticing, okay, girls are wearing their hair in so many different styles, what were the hairstyles that you would start to rock?
Well, from what I remember, my mum used to buy me wigs. And I remember I had 2 particular wigs. One had a front fringe and another one was like curly, but it was never looked natural. And maybe it's because I knew it was a wig, I never felt like it was natural. But I could only buy the wigs, I guess, that could be affordable, could suit me at that young age. Because I can't come rocking short hair looking like I'm 25. But yeah, I had to just rock hairs that I could do at a young age, but still look like a kid, not too much of an adult. So if that makes sense.
Yeah. Because when we were in school, or when I first met you at youth club and whatever, I just thought, because I saw girls with wigs anyway when we were that age, I just thought it was a a weave. So to me, it was just like, you're just wearing a weave.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? I didn't see it as anything, but now that I know your story, it all makes sense.
Yeah.
Things like that. So another thing I want to ask you, like, I'm sure people would ask you questions.
Yeah.
So what were the kind of questions that people would ask?
A lot of questions I used to get was, why don't you do braids? Why don't you do your hair like this? Why, or how long is your real hair? Or what does your real hair look like? Questions like that. And I remember when I first used to get those questions when I was young, I used to really struggle because I didn't know what to say. But because it became a thing where I kept on hearing it, I was kind of prepared for it. So I had an answer ready. I already knew what I was going to say.
So it was like a script. You knew the questions were coming.
Exactly.
Now, okay.
I had an answer ready. Exactly.
Let's go. I know exactly what to say. What
exactly.
to say. Okay, fair enough. The next question I have for you is: a lot of people say a woman's hair is her, like, you know, her crown and glory.
Yeah.
Okay, and as for you, your hair was thinning or was falling out. How would that make you feel? Because if that's what you're hearing, because we're both Christians, and it's even in the Bible.
Yeah.
So it's like, if you ever came across that, how did that make you feel, knowing that, well, my hair's thinning or my hair's falling out? How am I supposed to do?
Yeah.
If you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I know there'll be times where I'd even read the Bible and scriptures of saying I'm fearfully and wonderfully made, I'm made in God's image. Yes, I'll read it, but whether I believed it's a different story. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's one thing I can hear it and I'll think, yeah, I'm sure that's how God created me.
Yeah.
But I'll still look at myself in the mirror and think, but why? Like, if I'm supposed to be fearfully, wonderfully made, why is there something wrong with my hair? And it was something that I find it so hard to accept because it wasn't something that I guess I would sit there and think, do you know what? Yeah, I am fearfully, wonderfully made. It's only till now I'm actually coming to terms with it. When you're young, you're just thinking, it's kind of like society's put so much pressure on you to look a certain way. Like, you know how we have this image of how a woman should be.
Yeah.
And that society's created that. So in my mind, they created this image that I have to look a certain way to be fearfully, wonderfully made. And that's where it gets a bit, you know.
In the scripture, you still feel like you have to look a certain way.
Exactly.
So, did you ever feel like you were beautiful?
Yeah. And honestly, I never felt like beauty wasn't something that I would describe, or beautiful wouldn't be a word that I would describe myself as. But again, going back to what I was saying before, it's because of my perception of what beauty was. But now, coming to terms with it, and even though it's taken me so long to do it, I don't believe my hair is what makes me beautiful. Because whether I have hair or not, because you know how they always have these quotes that beauty is not just on the outside. And it's true, I actually do believe it now. Because you can have the most beautiful person in the world, but their soul and their spirit and their personality can just be like not beautiful.
Rotten.
Exactly. So it has to be a whole thing. It can't just be one-sided. So yeah, no, I definitely never felt like I was beautiful. To answer your question.
In the physical sense.
In the physical sense.
Okay.
Inside I am.
Of course. They don't know. Of course, no, you really are. When we spoke, and I saw your Facebook post, I thought to myself, my gosh, this girl is brave. Like, I really couldn't believe it. So what made you want to share your story on just with everyone?
With everyone. I think it's just because having to go through it for as long as I did, it got to a point where I just was sick and tired of kind of going through the same thing. One day having a good day, next day having a bad day, and only like I think because majority of my life experiencing alopecia, I was very paranoid, I was very guarded, and I just wanted to be me. That's the best way I can explain it. I just wanted to now be comfortable with me, and I want people to see who I really am without having to hide behind a mask of hair. And I think getting to a position where I am now to share my stories, because I do believe that there are people out there, it might not be necessarily alopecia, but there's issues that, like you're saying, real women go through, but they don't know who to talk to. They don't know how to even express it. And that's why I kind of want to share my story, just to let people know that this is real life. This is what people are really dealing with. Yeah. And since sharing it, I've even had people come to me and tell me I've experienced alopecia. I wouldn't have known if I didn't put myself out there.
True.
Do you know what I mean? So by me getting out my comfort zone and putting myself out there, I would rather put my feelings inside and my intentions inside and bless other people. And that's kind of what motivated me to do it.
Okay. So what advice do you have for that woman who is going through the same thing as you, who's going through any type of hair loss at all?
Okay. My one advice is, even though you're going through it, it's just a journey. It's part of your journey. It's part of your story. It's something that if you can turn around and share with other people, you don't know who is literally going through the same thing as you. but it's just mainly for you to understand that even though you're going through it, do allow yourself to feel it, because I remember there's a point where I used to not allow myself to feel bad. There's times I would feel sad and I won't even let myself feel sad, but that wasn't healthy.
But why?
Because I don't know, I felt like I was doing like a pity party for myself.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I didn't want to have a pity party. I just thought, you know what, I wanted to be the strong person. I wanted to put on this facade of, yeah, I'm strong, I can't be broken. But sometimes you genuinely do have to let yourself feel, because that's how you deal with it. So I'd say if you're going through it, it's something that, like I said, it's not something that's going to be there forever. Whether your hair is there or not, it doesn't define you. It's not who you are. It's not, I'm my hair, then I'm Maggie. I'm Maggie and then I have hair. My hair is not me. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't define, or it shouldn't define who I am as a person. So I'd definitely say just be yourself. Share it with people. Don't be scared to talk about it. Even though it's just family, man, it doesn't have to mean you have to put it up on social media like I have. Just find someone that you trust and talk to them about it, because once you let it out, it does help a lot, and it's like a bit of like closure within yourself, because you kind of feel, okay, I'm not alone. I can go and talk to someone about it. Whether they believe or whether they understand where you're coming from is different, but as long as you're out there trying to vocalize how you feel rather than keeping it in, it's definitely healthy. So I'd say you are beautiful, you are amazing, you can be who you want to be. Just don't let something stop you, because it's just a temporary thing. Do you know what I mean? So that's my advice.
Okay, well, thank you so much for sharing your story and for also blessing that woman who is going through it, because I'm sure there are many people out there who are going through the same thing.
Yeah.
So, and it's also educating those of us who don't know or understand how it feels or what alopecia is.
Yeah.
So before we kind of wrap this up, I want to play a game with you.
Okay, cool.
I've done it with a couple of people in the past, and they always tend to, you know, stop and think about it. So it's word association. The first thing that comes to your mind, do not sit there and think and ponder and be like, no. Just quick, yeah?
Okay.
Ready? Sure?
Sure.
Great.
I think so.
Right, okay.
Okay.
The first word, journey,
Life.
beauty,
Woman.
social media,
Pressure.
relationships,
Love.
brave,
Courageous.
Kenya,
Home.
Maggie,
Amazing.
that woman.
That woman is me. That woman is you. That woman is all of you.
Perfect, we are that woman. Okay, great. So that was, you did it perfectly.
Thanks.
Okay, so that's how it's meant to be. So yeah, so that's it for this episode of That Woman. We're gonna put everything in the description box below, where you can also find Maggie's previous video and her next video. Well, not her next video. Sorry.
Stuff I'm going to be putting up.
Stuff you're gonna be putting out. Is there anywhere else they can find you on social media?
You can follow me on Instagram. My name will be down there, but it's just search KenyanRosee and it'll be on there. I'm going to be using that mainly just to do some form of encouragement for different things. So yeah, but just before we do end this, I just want to say congrats to Kemi.
Girl, bye.
Having a channel like this is not easy, and having to think about and talk about real stuff is not easy, because we're in a society where people don't want to be real. So
True.
let's clap for Kemi, guys.
Oh, you're so silly. And that's what That Woman is about. I want to shed light on issues that women are dealing with.
Yeah.
You know, because we are all that woman. We're all on our journey, whatever it may be, and we're all trying to do better and be better. So That Woman is for every woman. And thank you so much for sharing the story on this platform as well.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Thanks for being a guest. So